Hi guys, this is our video on MammalBasics, and by the end of this video you should be able to explain the evolution of mammals from reptiles, describe the unique characteristics of mammals, differentiate the three subclasses of mammals, and give a general overview of the diversity of mammals. So mammals are descendants of reptiles, specifically the synapsid reptiles, and remember synapsids are vertebrates that have that single hole behind the eye socket. So the only extant vertebrates that have that are mammals, but 300 to 190 million years ago there were synapsid reptiles. And over the course of the time that the synapsid reptiles were on Earth, some changes occurred in their species. So the brain grew, their ears became more complex, their jaws became more advanced, and their teeth differentiated so that they had that heterodentition, the different types of teeth. And that's those characteristics are things that we see in present-day mammals. The specific group of synapsid reptiles that branched to mammals is called the therapsids. They had a big skull, a robust skull. They had a single large canine. So if you look at these guys over here, these are what we think therapsids looked like. You can see they have that big canine tooth. In the Synognathus is a genus that I think could be very closely related to mammals, and this is a kind of an artist rendering of what the Synognathus probably looked like. Their limbs came straight down beneath their trunk, so they weren't spread out the way that amphibians and some other reptiles are, and that's what current mammals are like. Their jaw was similar to modern mammals. Whether or not they were endothermic or had hair, we're not entirely sure. And so whether or not they're the direct descendant of mammals is unknown, but it's likely that they're one of the closest ancestors to mammals. So what makes a mammal a mammal? Mammals have hair or fur. They have mammary glands, and they have three middle ear bones. So other vertebrates don't have those three middle ear bones, so it's a more complex ear. Almost all mammals have deciduous and permanent teeth, so some teeth that fall out and some that stay. Mammals have marrow in their bones. Mammals have non-nucleated red blood cells, so the red blood cell doesn't have organelles, doesn't have a nucleus like the other cells in our body, and that's unique among the vertebrates. So other vertebrates' blood cells, red blood cells, do have nuclei, ours don't. We have that muscular diaphragm to draw air into our lungs. The heterodentition is where we have incisors, canines, premolars, molars, so different types of teeth for different functions. And we're endothermic, meaning body heat is generated from within in mammals. So there's three subclasses of mammals. So the class is Mammalia. Three subclasses are Prototheria, Metatheria, and Theria. Prototheria are the egg-laying mammals. There are very few of these. The platypus and the echidna are examples of the egg-laying mammals. Metatheria are the marsupials. So these are those that have young that are really, really undeveloped, and they develop in the mother's pouch. So usually the babies of marsupials, the biggest part of their body is their mouth. So they just latch on, and then their body grows as they develop in that pouch. And here's we think of kangaroos usually, but possum are also marsupials, and you see a possum there with babies in the pouch. And then the subclass Theria those are the mammals that bear live young. And that's all other mammals besides the marsupials and the egg layers. So most mammals that we think of are in the subclass Theria. The class Mammalia has great diversity. There's 5,000 species. The number of orders that are in the class Mammalia, it depends who you ask. Somewhere between 19 and 26. It's kind of constantly changing, and it's kind of under contention, amongst different taxonomists. So as DNA technology gets better and better, the classifications change also. One of the craziest recent changes is that whales So you see here in this diagram, whales are put in with dolphins. So whales are now in our Artilodactyla, which is the here. Artilodactyla are the cloven-hoofed mammals. So they're in, like with deer now, deer and elk and whales. So the DNA really gives us a way better picture sometimes than just physical characteristics can. So that's something that's always changing, and it's frustrating for learning your classification, but it's pretty cool too that we're constantly learning more. The range in size, like physical size of mammals, is crazy. There's some shrews and bats that are as little as 3 grams, so that's like less than 1/4 of a pound, right? But then the blue whale weighs, can get up to 170 metric tons. Blue whale is the largest animal ever to live on Earth. So even you think about all the dinosaurs and everything, blue whale, largest ever. Pretty impressive. There's also a variety of niches, life history strategies, and modes of locomotion exhibited across the diversity of mammals. There's mammals that fly, glide, swim, run, burrow, jump. Almost any form of locomotion you can imagine, mammals will do it. And it just kind of shows how they can adapt to different situations and different environments over time. So again, I'd like you to go back and make sure you have notes on all these points: the evolution of mammals from reptiles, the unique characteristics of mammals, the different subclasses of mammals, and the overview of the diversity of mammals. There'll be there's also the PowerPoint of the different mammal orders, so you can be familiar with that. And I'll leave you with a joke. So, where do sheep go on vacation? To the Bahamas. And you would be surprised how many pictures of sheep on the beach you get when you do a Google search. Very impressive. Okay, I'll see you in class.